Listen to this. Back to Dr. What was his name? Like Richard Roberts or something. It's like he had the weirdest like double first name shit. Robert Richards, Richard Roberts or something like that. Dr. Jewenstein was his name. Double Jew. Now listen to this. I told you. We heard, you heard the voicemail. He's sitting there like, yeah, I toppled the government. I'm just a little old me. I'm just a little old Joe. They had anti-Semitism going on in there. This is my thing, right? You know how that guy was like, you break your head and you dig water and you dig water and you got nothing and you know what I mean, blah, blah, blah. This guy sits there and goes, yeah, I toppled the government because they had all these anti-Semitism like things going on. They had anti-Semitic laws and different things like that going on and blah, blah, blah. When you hear what he says he did to topple the government, you go, no, you were digging for all that. Like, you know how it is when, like, if you really go looking for something hard enough, you're just going to find it. Even if it's, like, not even real, it's to you, you're going to find it, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. You could think, like, your wife is, like, cheating or something, right? And it's like, she could be the most innocent person in the world, but if you keep digging and digging and digging and digging, you're going to find something to you that proves it to you. That goes, I knew it. I fucking always knew it, because you're not going to stop looking until you're satisfied. Eventually, your mind is going to try to cope with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and this is what he sounds like. He goes, I digged as hard as I possibly could, and then the second I found something anti-Semitic, I harped on it. And then this is how we toppled the government, right? But he tries to make it seem like they were all Jew haters out the rip. And like, it's like, what the fuck?
They're suffering.
Why did you topple the government?
I told you
How
why.
did you do it with ease?
Oh, it was not with ease. It was a tremendous amount of work. Okay. Agent in Manhattan, trying to get the stories out to the press. And then I met with this political group, like I said, who ran senatorial campaigns. We got the cell phone numbers of all the people in Jackson, and we planned a text. We started a website.
Now listen to what he just said. He goes, oh shit. Sorry, I accidentally fucking backed up the time code. So,
correct. Just for this.
Hold up. Sorry.
For schools, for now it's going into Howell. Children, and communities just growing against times a day. Morning professional, seeing the number of township emails to see if we were praying.
Okay, so the house was
people here.
In contrast to the Super Bowl.
Oh, what the fuck? I accidentally just changed like the whole time code. Sorry about that, everyone. I'm fucking like tripping out here. Remember how I told you if you're highlighted over the time code and you hit left or right, it'll change the whole time code fucking.
You were doing all that?
Yeah, I was just accidentally doing that. So now listen to what he says when he goes, I toppled the government. He said, I had an agent somewhere in Manhattan. They were trying to run like editorials out there. He goes, I had hired this like fucking publicity like campaign company or whatever. They got me the cell phones of the people that were in the administration, and we planted text messages. This is like the first 3 sentences that he says right out the rip. You go, that's the most like schemy, diabolical shit I've ever heard in my entire life. That's scratching the surface of what he did to get these guys fucking out of government. Listen to this shit.
They're suffering.
Why did you topple the government?
I told you
why.
why.
How did you do it with ease?
Oh, it was not with ease. It was a tremendous amount of work. Okay. Agent in Manhattan, trying to get the stories out to the press.
Agent in Manhattan, we tried to get those stories out to the press, right?
Then I met with this political group, like I said, who ran senatorial campaigns. We got the cell phone numbers of all the people in Jackson, and we planned a text.
So now we hired a company that did, political editorial campaigns. We got them to give us all the phone numbers of the committee in Jackson, and we planted texts. This is spy versus spy. It's like the first 3 sentences you're talking. This is like Israel is literally like working with you or something to get this done, right? This what it sounds like. John Kiriakou is fucking like fighting against you guys right now in the CIA, like actively.
We started a website called FamiliesForJacksonJustice.org. By the way, I've since abandoned the website. Anti-Semites took it over. It's like when the Republican Club, which was vehemently anti-Semitic and run by the mayor of Jackson, had a U.S. Senate candidate, Republican candidate, there for their meeting. I had spies inside.
Republican candidates were having meetings. I have spies, he says. I have spies. Imagine if any politician any American politician, a mayor, anyone, said, I have spies in the opposite or in the person who's running against me. I have spies in his organization. Every single person you know would go, get this communist out of here. Immediately. They go, everyone vote against this man. He has spies. You know, you get what I'm saying? This is like, he's bragging about this as if like he's done some tremendous amount of work for the Jewish people. It's like, dude, you're a fucking shyster, bro. You have spies in the fucking goddamn Republican committee, like in Jackson. Or you fucking high? And then they go, you guys, it's anti-Semitic to say that the Jews are in control of everything and run the media and would do anything like have spies in an organization to try to get our, laws put into place so that we can better ourselves in society. You can't say it's anti-Semitic. This guy is literally like laying out the entire blueprint for the fucking whole shit. And I can't say that? It's wrong of me to say that when this guy is literally going, yeah, no, we do that. Everything that everyone says that we do, that we bitch about, no, we do it. We actually do it.
Trying to get the stories out to the press. And then I met with this political group, like I said, who ran senatorial campaigns. We got the cell phone numbers of all the people in Jackson, and we planned to text. We started a website called familiesforjacksonjustice.org. By the way, I've since abandoned the website. Anti-Semites took it over. It's like when the Republican Club, which was vehemently anti-Semitic and run by the mayor of Jackson, had a U.S. Senate candidate, Republican candidate, there for their meeting, I had spies inside the organization, non-Jews, who were telling me what was going on. So
I had non-Jew spies. So now what is this? Now, Jews do not control the Goyim, right? But they claim they do not control the Goyim. Even their own spies are Goyim. Okay? We don't control them, but we do have spies. We do have a couple spies. Now, you trying to tell me they got spies in goddamn Jackson Township, New Jersey. Trying to tell me maybe ain't a couple non-Jew spies in the goddamn White House? Ain't a couple non-Jew... Like, I know I sound conspiratorial right now, but if they are doing it at, like, the fucking township level, what makes you think that people...
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. It's like crazy. I don't even hate Jews. Like, I'm not even like one of the I see a Jew, I kiss him on the cheek. Like Shia, I go, I don't say nothing to a Jew, I kiss him. I kiss him on their feet, man, like Jesus. Because Jesus was a Jew. I don't care. But come on, man. Like, this is crazy. It's crazy that like somebody could see this, right? Me saying all this, someone could see this and go, he's got to lose his job now. Like, it's crazy. Like, that's nuts to me. For this?
Yeah.
Like, for literally, the guy is laying out the blueprint, and I'm sitting there going, they control it. They control it. I'm anti-Semitic for saying that. You're kidding me. You're kidding me. Okay. I didn't know that. It was bigoted to tell the truth. What the fuck?
The Republican Club, they had their senatorial candidate about to speak. We then texted to everyone in Jackson 5 minutes before he spoke. Here's this new website exposing the religious discrimination. I had it populated with all kinds of information, statements. The mayor.
So now the same Republican candidate that was going to the Republicans meeting that he's talking about that he had non-Jew spies in, right? Mm-hmm. Was going to speak at an event, maybe at some other point in time, right? 5 minutes before he's about to speak on stage, this guy, like a fucking cyber criminal, sends a text message, a synchronized text message to everyone in the Republican Party with a link to a website where he has now populated that website with all statements and things that he deems that this guy said that are anti-Semitic or did that are anti-Semitic, right? So now he is like legitimately like smear campaigning this man to all of his peers 5 minutes before he's about to speak on stage like a cyber criminal. He's doing this. I don't know. Like, I'm like, this is crazy to think. Like, the fact that this is a guy, just a almost billionaire, doing this to topple a township administration is crazy to me.
And he's not even the same type of Jewish.
Yeah, he's not even like fucking Hasidic. You know, like these are like all Hasidic, right? Like, is that what you're getting at? It's like nuts to me, but this is the thing. The Jews, man, you got to give it to them. They stick to fucking together, bro. If Americans stuck together like Jews stuck together, like nothing would be able to stop this country. Not that anything can stop us now, you know what I mean? But like, we would really be like unstoppable. If Americans just in general were as tight-knit as Jews were, it would be like, you're talking Roman Empire all over again. Like, it would be nuts, the shit we would be doing. We would just be blasted. Like, Europe would be ours. Like, there'd be like nothing over there. It'd be all America. You get what I'm saying? Like, we would be unstoppable if we thought in a unified way, the way that Jewish people do. Like, they talk about it in this video. This is why, like, perspectively to the Goyim, the Jews are so powerful. This is why the Goyim have that perspective about the Jews. Is because you have to think they're all moving in one fucking synchronized unit, right? Americans, everyone who's not Jewish is not moving that way. They're all in different directions. They're all believing different things. There's no unity outside of the Jewish community. You get what I mean? This is like, you ain't ever going to beat a force like that. Think about, like, in, like, you know how in, like, cartoons, like, a whole bunch of ants will turn into, like, a guy, right? And that's the Jews. That's Jews. They all get together and they make one giant mecha Jew, and that's it. You ain't ever stopping that. And you can't do that without a unified sense of being, right? Like, it's just not possible. And to listen to this guy, can't be the only one of them who's thinking this way. He can't be. You get what I'm saying? He's just one of the powerful ones who's thinking like this. This is crazy to me.
Of Jackson have been voice recorded, not by me, but it was sent to me. Religious discrimination. I had it populated with all kinds of information, statements. The mayor of Jackson had been voice recorded, not by me, but it was sent to me, where he was asked by the chairman of the Ocean County Republican Party if these were churches, would we be opposing them? He said, absolutely not. It was discrimination against Jews. They were going crazy with all the things I was doing, putting pressure on them. There was fighting going on among the elected political people. Resignations had started. And then I put out the ad on Fox News.
New developments in that deadly attack in New Jersey. Surveillance video shows they clearly targeted that Jewish market.
There's a synagogue located next door.
There is no question that this is a hate crime.
Anti-Semitism is on the rise.
Are you seeing this? This is for the mayor of Jackson, dude. This is like a Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump, like, political campaign commercial.
Yeah.
This is
for a little town.
A Jews doing this to the mayor of the town of Jackson. Is this not insanity? This is like, yo, guys, he's already dead. You know what I mean? Stop stabbing him. He's already dead. They're like just fucking still drilling into this. It's like, he's done. Please stop. You're overkilling him, like.
And now it's coming from Jackson Township's government. Elected officials in Jackson have passed ordinances targeting Orthodox Jewish families. Exposed township emails show officials surveilling religious Jewish families, praying in their homes.
That praying in their homes thing, that shit right there pissed me off when I heard that in the commercial. You want to know what they're talking about in that, in case you forgot? Because I know you watched the video as well. Let me fill in the audience. These guys in Lakewood, what they'll do, the Jews in Lakewood, is they'll buy one big house in the middle of a neighborhood, right? And then they just say, hey, this is the new prayer house. They go, all of us Jews were allowed in it. You guys can walk in whenever you want. It's the new prayer house. Mind you, they're not like having to build a parking lot like they would at like a synagogue. They're not having to do nothing, right? So what happened was the township of Jackson was having to check these houses to see, are there actual families living in these residential houses, or are these Jews using these houses as fucking like synagogues and prayer houses when they're not supposed to be? Zoning exists for a reason, right? So now, see how they twisted that? And they go, no, the fucking township of Jackson was spying on Jewish families praying in their homes. No, they were praying in a home, and it was like fucking 65 Jewish guys all on the floor, like pray in a house, right? And Jackson has to go, you see them in there? There's not even furniture in this fucking house. You know what I mean? They go, there's no way a family lives here. There's not even furniture in here. This is what they're saying. They're trying to twist this and go, they're spying on the families praying in the house. The family of what? 75, 60-year-old Jews that are praying on the floor right now? That's the family you're talking about? This is what I'm saying. This is like, you have to be the victim in every goddamn thing. You know what's funny? Tyler brings that up to that guy, right? He goes, hey, man, you know, you guys do the prayer houses and shit, and it's like, that's going to bring a lot of traffic through to a residential street. Can you see how, like, the people living in that neighborhood might not want something like that in there, right? And you guys are kind of, like, saying that it's a house, but it's, like, it's really like a place of worship, and it's, like, you're kind of just sliding on that, right? The guy dead ass goes, well, I mean, it'd be no different than, like, if somebody had, like, people over for Super Bowl Sunday at their house. He goes, people have a Super Bowl party. They have like 50 people at their house. What's the difference? The guy, Tyler, goes, well, how many times are you guys going to the house to pray like that? Is it like once a week or something? The guy goes, 3 times a day. 3 times a day. You can have anywhere between 30 and 100 fucking Jews in one house in the middle of your neighborhood just fucking praying. 3 times a day. Tyler goes, yeah, don't you think that's an important distinction to make since the Super Bowl only happens once a fucking year, bro? And, you know, you're kind of like having these people in there 3 times a fucking day. The guy goes, it's no different. It's like football season, you know? It's like everyone's doing it. It's no different. It's like, it's a lot different, bro. It's a lot fucking different. You're like kidding me right now trying to use that as a comparison point. It like blows my mind, actually.
Took revenge on a decorated veteran who testified against their anti-Semitism. Jackson officials are intimidating Jewish families, and they admit it.
If these were charges, would we be fighting? Absolutely not.
Shameful. This isn't America.
Let's put on the cable network provider for that area. In the meantime, I had 2 different calls with the White House. I know you want to ask me 1,000 questions. I will answer nothing more than that.
I know you want to ask me 1,000 questions about this literal diabolical movie levels plan that I just laid out to you as if this was Mission Impossible, right? I will answer no questions. You get what, like, what? Are you serious? And then watch, he goes, I will answer no questions, right? His yarmulke almost falls off, which would have immediately revealed all of his Jewish secrets, right? So he has to grab the yarmulke. He goes, ah! He holds the yarmulke. Watch this.
House. I know you want to ask me 1,000 questions. I will answer nothing more than that.
Okay,
sorry.
why?
Because.
Notice how he grabs the yarmulke. He goes, ah! He goes, hold up. He goes, wait a minute, let's make sure it keeps, because if this thing pops off, all of my Jewish wisdom is going to just come pouring out of the top of my head. And then you're really going to know all the secrets, and we can't have any of that. That is nuts, right? To hear that whole entire plan. He goes, I know you have 1,000,001 questions. I will answer nothing. I will answer nothing. I will leave it at that. I know you want to know about all the shady shit, how many chickens we killed along the way and everything like that. I'm answering none of it. Excuse me? Like, you called me over here, buddy. Like, you know what I mean? You left a voicemail on my phone. You're not going to answer any of my goddamn questions now? It's like, this guy used this as like a point to be like, I'm going to brag about all the things that Jews can do to people should they, you know, happen to fall out of line a little bit. That's what it seems like to me. That this guy's like, yeah, you know, Tyler, just in case, you know, you're wondering, we could do all this same stuff to you. right? He goes, we did it to the mayor. And like, that guy is way more powerful than you are as a YouTuber. He goes, we could do all of this to you and your family. So, make
Watch
sure you
out.
keep those questions to yourself, Tyler. He grabs his yarmulke. Keep those questions to yourself, Tyler. Is that not insanity, bro? You know what's crazy? This guy, that was like, let me see. Where the fuck is my mouse at? Oh, there it is. Dude, I couldn't find my mouse. I think that was like, where are we at right now in the time code? 1 minute? Bro, that was just like a part of the plan. Listen, he goes on. There's more plan. Listen to this.
Council president.
After a year, I couldn't bear it anymore. So I got involved. I hired a political campaign group out of Washington, D.C. that does political campaigns for Republican senators. I think they did Ted Cruz. And I wrote a letter to the mayor of Jackson telling him.
Now, this guy is hiring like political campaign committees out of Washington, D.C. Think about the level of campaign committee that you're dealing with out of Washington. Like, this is like presidential, senatorial campaign committee. Like, you know what I mean? These are like biggest hitting campaign committees you could think of in politics. He goes, we need that for Jackson. Please, you just bring that down here. You would pay any amount of money. We need the Goyim to get in line.
All the things I was going to do if they wouldn't reverse these discriminatory laws.
Hires the campaign committee, then writes a letter to the mayor of Jackson, goes, this is what I'm going to do to you if you don't reverse the laws that you have in place right now. Imagine, dude. Imagine if anyone ever, anywhere, wrote a letter to the mayor threatening them like that. Imagine that. Imagine if some Arab just wrote a letter to the fucking mayor of fucking New York City. Wrote a letter to Zolo Mamdamna and fucking said, bro, if you do not reverse these laws, this is all the shit that we're going to do. Go send the fucking FBI, CIA to that nigga's house yesterday. This guy comes in, writes a fucking letter to the goddamn mayor of Jackson, goes, you don't rewrite these laws, this is what I'm going to do to you. The mayor goes, he's got me by the balls. He caves. You know how he gets him to cave? Block voting. You ever hear of this block voting? No?
No.
Block voting is a tactic that like big sects of groups of people like this will use. A lot of times it's religious or racial groups that will use block voting, right? It's essentially like, you know how when somebody goes, Donald Trump won 20% of the Jewish vote in New York, right? That's like a block vote. The Jewish vote would be a block vote, right? So in a township like Lakewood or a township like Jackson, when the Jewish population starts to get to, outweigh the percentage of the other populations or whatever, especially they start to outnumber the population of people in the town that actually vote, right? The Jews are going to vote in a block and they're going to fucking sway whatever they're voting on with that block, right? So now this is the type of shit. This guy writes a letter to the mayor of Jackson and goes, not only will I do all of these things, I'll get all these committees, I'll put all these commercials, I'll do the same shit I did to the other guy. He goes, and we'll take the block of, I don't know, let's say it's 40,000 votes, right, in the town. We'll take that block and we'll just put it behind someone else. Now, what elected anyone is going to say no to that? They're going to get scared as fuck.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, you're basically telling me I'm getting fired from my job.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They're going to cave immediately. Now, you're trying to tell me that's not some level of control, like conspiratorial control. I know it's not you saying this, but I'm just saying, like, that is nuts, dude. That is actually crazy. Like, you might as well be bribing a politician at that point. To sit there and threaten him and go, we will take this block and put it behind someone else. Yeah, it might as well be a bribe. You go, would you like minus 65,000 or would you like plus 65,000 in your account? You know, if that, let's say 65,000 is the block vote, right? Like, that's crazy to me. And it's like, if you don't even like try to scratch the surface of politics, you're never going to think about it like that. You get what I'm saying? Like, the average person's not thinking about this in this way. They're thinking about this and they see something like this. They go, those people really do seem anti-Semitic. It's like, dude, the way these people are moving, it's like, you have no choice but to fight against all of them. You have to, dude. It's like, what the fuck? The mayor of Jackson's getting threatened right now. Like, it's like, what are you going to do? It's crazy to me, the whole thing. But we're running out of time. I'm not going to lie. Let's listen to him finish out his plan, and then we're going to end the episode right here.
Got involved. I hired a political campaign group out of Washington, D.C., that does political campaigns for Republican senators. I think they did Ted Cruz. And I wrote a letter to the mayor of Jackson telling...
Look, as you know, there's a lawsuit against you and Jackson Township claiming, with significant supporting documents, that you have been using the instruments of Jackson Township government to discourage Orthodox Jews from living in Jackson. The suit also claims that this conduct is part of a larger effort to interfere with our community's religious practices or growth in Jackson. Between the lawsuit and various news stories, I am persuaded that you have overseen, participated in, or spearheaded the following. 1. Jackson Township surveillance of Orthodox Jews praying in homes. We have already explained that, right?
him all the
Also, if you reverse the above Jackson Township bigoted ordinances and commit to cease inappropriate surveillance and harassment, then I will stand down. Since Jackson passed the school and dormitory ban in 10 days, I will wait 2 weeks. In the interim, I will be working to ready the following ways of shining a national spotlight on the atrocious actions reportedly committed by some members of Jackson Township government. National news media, national minority civil rights groups, national anti-bigotry, social media thought leaders, U.S. senators and congressmen making public statements, and further national Republican Party action. This guy just literally said, I will get every single person to badmouth you in public and try to blacklist you in any way that I possibly can. He literally just said, like, I will just do everything behind the scenes to get all of these people to do me a favor to get you excommunicated in the political community. How does that not sound like some level of control?
I mean, it does.
It's crazy. No politician could ever talk like this publicly, and without their constituents and their supporters being like, this guy is drunk with power, get him out of here. Like, you know what I mean? It's like immediately they're going to go, that's the next Adolf. Get him out. You know, it's nuts.
things I was going to do if they wouldn't reverse these discriminatory laws. In the meantime, there's another Jewish group called the Aguda that had a lawsuit against Jackson based on RLUIPA. That's the Religious Land Use Institutionalized Persons Act. And it says that the municipality, it's a law, federal law, municipality is not allowed to discriminate based upon religion. And in their lawsuit, then showed all the emails from Jackson, all the things they were doing, conspiring against, executing to try to make life miserable for Orthodox Jews there.
But you went to work, and what happened next?
I went to Washington. I met with Ronna McDaniel, who was the head of the Republican National Committee, and the Speaker of the House at the time was Kevin McCarthy. He was actually in their conference room. So I met with both of them, showed them what was going on. They were shocked.
Like, this guy literally took it all the way to the Speaker of the House, like the White House, like the Speaker of the White House. Like, that is absolute, like, for a township in New Jersey to have any kind of, like, I can't think of any other religious anything, Muslim, Buddhist, fucking Scientology even, that is going to go to this level for a township in New Jersey, bro. At that point, they're going to be like, bro, all the money we're spending on this legally, we could just, like, move. And we don't have to deal with none of it. Like, you know what I mean? At that point, it's like, I would just be like, let's go to a nicer place. You know, there's, like, snow here and shit. You know, it's like, what the fuck?